years ago, I was planning a camping trip with a mate, and I realised we'd need some fresh herbs to cook on the campfire. I thought about passing through the towns and picking them up as we went through, but $5 for a sprig of parsley? Not on my watch. So instead, I planted the holiday herb basket. All you need is a basket. So this one cost me about $5, I think, from the op shop. Nice and sturdy, enough soil depth to maintain quite a few plants, but not so big that I can't lift it. I've lined it with a little bit of offcut of pond liner and then put a couple of drainage slits so the moisture can actually get out of the bottom. Your sort of traditional idea would be that you should match always your Mediterranean herbs or your Asian herbs. I push my luck with everything, and I'm going to pack everything I can into this basket because I want lots of flavours. I'm going away, I want a little bit of everything. So with my summer basket, I've got basils, oregano, thyme, all of those summer flavours. But coming into the cooler months, there's a few other flavours to choose from, plenty still. Of course, rosemary, and as well as being a beautiful flavour to use in just about all cooking, it goes a really long way. It'll flower in the winter months as well. I'm going to plant some sorrel, and it's actually a really, really good plant for the cold. You only need a few leaves, really, really zingy, sort of lemony flavour. Great with fish, great with all sorts of dishes. Of course, parsley, I can't live without it. I put it on everything, so flat leaf parsley is just so easy to grow and perfect for this sort of project. And I'm also going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to put a bit of celery in. I don't necessarily use celery like big fleshy stems. I like it just as a little bit of a flavouring in lots and lots of things. Edible flowers, there's actually plenty of them. And coming into winter, beautiful little Johnny Jump Up Viola, a little bit of cheer, really nice if you want to give this away as a prezi. And autumn is the best time of the year to sow coriander. Cooler weather, warm soil, and I'll always do that from seed, so I'm going to pack a bit of that in as well. Because I'm planting so many different plants in here, I want a really good quality potting mix with heaps of nutrients. So to a premium mix, I've added a little bit of organic fertiliser and some worm castings. So first up, I'll do the rosemary, because it's sort of the most substantial plant that's going to be in the basket. A little bit of the roots are looking pretty good. Nice amount of space. This variety should spill a little bit as well as grow upright. Next, I reckon the red sorrel. Oh, look at that. That's going to go bonkers. And a little bit of French sorrel. Again, some of these varieties are actually better in a pot because they can be pretty vigorous in the garden. And then a bit of parsley. So the nice thing about my very first holiday herb basket was, you know, it was great. We got to have herbs with every meal. And, you know, it was lovely, fresh food. But the other nice thing was that people would spot it on the back of the ute and have a little chat to us about the garden. It's not the normal thing to see someone's little garden on the back of their truck. Anyway, we were in one little town and these ladies spotted it on the back of the ute and were so excited and told us all about their garden and then disappeared round the back to go and pick us some produce. So that night we had fresh herbs and fresh zucchini from their garden. It was pretty lovely. Good to be a little bit careful when you're moving any member of the carrot family. So parsley, celery, any of those guys, they don't really like root disturbance, so try and be a bit cautious. Now this just needs watering in, and don't be afraid to give them a liquid feed. It'll really push the growth along. In a couple of weeks, you'll be ready to hit the road. And until then, have a great weekend.